Throwing ass on the gram, getting laughs at the stand. Only she can, only Feehans. It's only Feehans.
Welcome back to another episode of OnlyFeehans with me, Kerryn Elizabeth Feehan, and my guest today. This is how he really dresses, Dean Stanfield. Are you from Austin?
No, I'm from Alpine, Texas.
Okay.
So West Texas, born and raised all across Texas. So like I was a passed around child. So I got to live with a bunch of different families.
I knew I was going to like you. We did a show at the Creek last night, and you just were like, you were so nice to me.
Thank you.
And it was one of those things, and comics know when this happens, where I'm like, oh, I'm from New York. I'm supposed to have a spot. And you're like, oh, are you? And it's like, I don't know. And it wasn't, and you were so nice instead of, sometimes people can be real fucking dickheads.
Yeah, I try to be. I mean, because I know what it's like traveling, and it's happened to me a ton of times. And it's just like running a weekly show at a comedy club is so stressful.
Yeah.
And, you know.
Last night was so fun.
The crowd was so great.
Yep.
I mean, they were small but mighty.
They were great.
They were messing with
I
it.
had
The
a
dude
blast.
with the tattoo and you were crushing. And
Well, by the time I went up, which was later, it was like kind of filled out. It was like there was a good amount of people there. It was like
I
it
think
was
we had
lit.
like 40, 45 people by the end of it. And that's
great.
a crowd there.
Dude,
you know?
so that room is awesome.
Yeah, I enjoy
so
it.
much fun. And I just saw you, and I'm going to be honest. Like, usually when I see someone who looks and dresses and talks like you, I think it comes off kind of cartoonish to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but like it doesn't with you. Like, this feels very authentic.
I appreciate that, yeah.
Like, this is not an act at all. And that's why I'm just very interested to learn about you. You were a passed around child, you said. Like, foster care?
Oh, like, I mean, between family members and like
Okay.
mom, dad, grandma.
Mom and dad split up.
Yeah, well, mom and dad were never married.
Sinners.
Sinners.
In this state?
In the
A
Bible
baby out of
Belt.
wedlock? They let you stay here?
Well, dad was a rodeo cowboy, and they met at a
That is so cute.
a party somewhere,
Yeah.
and they tried to
Can't
make it
tame a
work.
rodeo cowboy.
You can't put a stallion, in the barn. She tried, and she got me. So yeah, I mean, they tried to stay together for like a year, and then just like went back and forth. And then we moved to Central Texas, and then they always lived like at least an hour from each other. So I would do like Monday through Wednesday with mom, Wednesday through Friday with dad.
How'd that work with school?
I mean, well,
You're like, I don't have a GED. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
we
Don't listen to me.
we went to. They lived like.
It was the same school system?
Well, kind of. My grandma lived in Georgetown, and so that was like the nicest school around the area. And then my mom lived like 30 minutes away in Gerald, and my dad lived like 30 minutes away in Florence.
Okay.
And so
Right in the middle.
but dad just used grandma's address and would.
So smart.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
And
That worked.
until the school system found out I did not live there,
Son of a bitch.
and then they were like, "Get your country bumpkin ass
Shut
out
up.
of here."
Did they really kick you out?
Yeah,
That's you're pursuing education. What type of bullshit
What
is
type
that?
of bullshit is that? Yeah.
That's fucked
But it's
up.
still breaking rules,
What? So then what'd you do?
Then I went to live with my grandpa
Okay.
in South Texas, which Arroyo City, Texas, which is like maybe 30 minutes from Brownsville.
Arroyo? What does that stand for? All right, no
Arroyo,
more.
Colorado is the river. An arroyo, I think an arroyo is some kind of a river system.
Okay.
It's like there's streams, creeks,
Okay.
hollers.
I thought you were going to say a young Native American.
It could have been. I'm sure there's an arroyo out there, a little Indian
it's a
Bronco
river?
buster. So it's the Arroyo, Colorado runs like all the way through Texas. I don't know where. Presumably, it comes from Colorado.
Okay.
But it's a Colorado River.
Probably China, though.
It's an Arroyo, Colorado.
You think it's American made,
Yeah,
but it's a fucking Chinese river.
Honestly, they're taking over the river systems and
These
the
motherfuckers.
toll roads around here. I heard that they bought the toll roads.
The Chinese.
The Chinese bought the toll roads.
I believe it all.
Yeah.
They're smarter than us, and they
Yeah.
don't care about like humans. Do you know what I mean? Like human
don't.
suffering, it doesn't bother Chinese people.
We don't have a lot of Asians in Texas.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I've noticed. We have a lot in New York.
So I don't have like an opinion because I feel like an opinion would be
yeah,
educated
because you see them from a distance.
Yeah.
No, they're some. I mean, listen, I'm great friends with some Asian people.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't want to say anything. I just like I come to Texas immediately get canceled.
4 minutes in and we're anti-Asian.
I know. I'm like so close to having like 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, and it's like nuked. You're gone. Stop fucking with us. Let's focus on your upbringing more. So you floated around, but were you an only child, kind of?
I was between my mother and my father. My dad went on to have the 3 more.
Yeah.
With another marriage, and then my mom had one child.
Okay.
And another marriage, my little sister, Annalise. She's coming back she's in the Navy in Japan.
Stop it.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
She's on a destroyer.
Hell yeah.
She's a bad
I wish
woman.
I was on a fucking destroyer.
I don't know.
Just to say that I once was. If it was even like a tour while it was docked. Whatever. Is a destroyer a submarine?
No, a destroyer is like it's, so you see the aircraft carriers, like the big thing.
Yeah.
The destroyers are the ones that hang around that to protect
planes or boats? People, boats.
Well, I mean, they're there probably to protect the boat, but the people by proxy get protected. So it's really nice.
So she knows how to drive a destroyer boat. Yeah,
she went to Texas A&M Galveston on a maritime
scholarship
degree into scholarship.
Wow.
And learned how to drive the big boats. Her goal was to learn how to drive like the tugboats that come into the Mississippi River and like all the ports around America. And then the Navy got a hold of her and were like, hey, you want to go blow shit up? And she's like, yeah.
Fuck yeah. That's fucking rad.
That's pretty cool.
So did she ever go on like missions?
So she's in the South China Sea just playing war games.
No way.
Yeah.
That is so fucking crazy to me.
It's insane. For her to be a, girl from Gerald, Texas to going on a destroyer in Japan. It's insane.
Wild.
It's crazy.
I watched this documentary called Seaspiracy, and it doesn't really have anything to do with this, but like maybe a little. But my point is like international waters seem like lawless in a way. Like you can get away with shit. Like stuff happens out there that like
that's where they dropped Bin Laden. Yeah. International waters. What is it? They dropped him in the in the ocean.
That's
where
I spared my uncle Bob's ashes.
Did you really?
No, it's just Cape, it was just Cape Cod. But they're used to, in that documentary I saw, there would be people that were supposed to go on these huge fishing vessels and make sure everything was on the up and up, right? They weren't having bycatch or killing a bunch of dolphins and sharks. And those people would just disappear. 13 of them just
I'm sure
died.
they would, yeah. They're like, you can't kill dolphins anymore. They're like, okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure, whatever you say.
Hey, go look, is there a dolphin over there? Just by the edge of the boat.
Yoink. Oh, that's, all right. So that's so interesting.
Yeah.
So when did you get into comedy?
5 years ago.
Yeah.
In Austin.
Okay.
So I'd done like open mics a few times. Right out of high school, I started building power lines, and I did that for 8 years.
That's really impressive to me.
Really?
I think more people should like fucking work, get into real hard. That sounds like a hard labor job.
It was a lot of long days in the heat.
Yeah.
And
do you bank a lot of money?
Yeah,
okay.
I did. I mean, I blew it all. But,
okay.
And also, like, I was 20, when all the kids were going to college, I knew I wasn't going to go to college and get anything out of it. Or I might have, but I didn't.
But I think that sounds like you had the wherewithal, the foresight to know, let me just fucking work.
I knew I was just going to get drunk and party with my friends.
That's what I did.
Yeah. And I didn't think I'd have the brain power to write an essay after being hammered drunk. And so I was like, look, all of these, like, I didn't come from money. And so even if I could charm people into giving me beer.
Right.
But that's going to run out eventually. Charm only lasts so long.
Yeah.
And so I was like, they offered me $23 an hour starting. And in Texas, that's pretty good.
No, it's great.
And so like at 19 years old, I could still like take vacation and go party at the college. But now I just had like, $3,000 just burning a hole in my pocket.
Right.
So I'd go up there and, find me
I
a
bet they
pretty
loved
gal
you though. Like you probably had
yeah.
the time of your life.
Yeah. Buying bottles of Jack and stuff for a partying and popping in.
Right. You were probably like, when you came, you were like the celebrity of the college parties, maybe a little.
A little bit. Yeah.
They're like, he's
definitely.
fucking coming. He's buying all the booze. He's the guy.
Yeah. Dino's the guy. Dean will get you drunk.
That sounds awesome.
So I enjoyed that. I've always wanted to be, like I was always enamored by stand up.
Yeah.
But like in small town Texas, especially, it's like, unless you're going to move to New York City.
Right.
And be a Yankee, then there's no, I don't know.
Sounds like such a terrible choice. You know what I mean?
It's
if you want to like betray your roots and fucking turn your back on your home just to go fucking rub shoulders with these Yankee uppity losers. Like, I get it.
No, but there's just like not even open mics that you could have an idea of how to start comedy.
Right.
You know, in like small towns. So, didn't do it. And then, I went out with my coworkers to a comedy show that had an open mic afterwards. And, I signed up and we were just smashed.
Right.
And I went up there and just did like work stories of stuff that was happening like with the crew and stuff.
Yeah.
Because they were probably like half the crowd. There's like 12 of them.
Right.
And then, for the people that
But you're probably killing with them on the job, like day to day. And then you have these stories you probably killed then. Like,
yeah. And it was really like, I was like, oh my, like I think I can be a stand-up comic.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And then
that's when you got bit.
That's when I got the bite.
Yeah.
And then trying to go into Austin, and then there wasn't the guys at work that were laughing that knew the jokes. And
so then that's like a little bit of like a harsh, like, whoa, like I might have to work on some material. I might have to write some shit and like make it more palatable for everybody and not just my work guys. Mm-hmm. But I think there's such a space, not to sound like a fucking gaylord, for your type of comedy.
Yeah.
Your writing's very intricate. The Harry Potter comparison the school, it's so fucking good. Go check out that bit. And like, yeah, it's like there's not a lot of people like you. And people can try to probably be like, well, yeah, like you can see like a Jeff Foxworthy or a fucking the character from the baseball show, Kenny, what's his name?
Kenny Powers.
Kenny Power. I bet you get that a lot.
All
Danny
the
McBride.
freaking time.
Yeah.
Some people, it's been disrespectful recently. Because people used to go like, you look like Danny McBride's son.
Okay, that's nice. Youthful.
And then recently,
you're just getting straight Danny.
I'm just getting straight Danny. You're like Danny's brother. Like Danny's.
You're Danny's dad? What? What the
fuck? Danny's dad? What the hell, people? I used to get Zac Efron. Where's it?
What the hell? So when you like wear your camouflage croc mules, where are you going? Like when you put those on, typically are those for like a hike? Is that your day to day? Are there Everglades in between your home and this hotel?
There's some swamps out by the. If I'm going catching gators, I'm wearing these bad boys. No, so the reason I wear Crocs is because I would
your
build
toenails
power
are too
lines.
Long for, go ahead. Sorry.
I try to.
No, it's actually show them. Dean, you don't know.
Hey, what's this OnlyFans?
You blow up. That is some good old Texas toes right there. They're gonna lose it.
Some good old Texas toes.
They're gonna lose their minds.
Texas toast and Texas toes.
Well, you have a story with you when you did power lines. What?
Oh, well, I was just wearing like steel toe boots all day, and I grew up wearing boots. And then it's just like if you're in boots for more than 12 hours, it starts to be a pain in the ass. You're just not comfortable anymore. And so like
these are breathable.
Oh, so breathable.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, it's going to get annoying, but if I start singing the praises of Crocs, we'll be here all day. I love them. I can't get enough of them.
I know a lot of grown men who really enjoy their Crocs, and they're, fitness guys, like Hawkeye. My ex loves a fucking Croc, and I'm still in love with him. But that's why I had you here today. Yeah, I just wanted to stare at these Crocs. Last night. I'm a psycho.
They're usually women are, and I think this might be changing.
Yeah.
Because I've noticed like women stopped having a problem with them as much, but like women used to get like physically extremely upset with me.
I don't think they're as bad as like a very thin flip flop.
Thank you.
Or
like so many dudes wear just like flip flops. This is like the dad version of a flip flop.
I don't like the flip flops that look like a belt strap going across your foot.
What are those? There's like
I don't know what they're called. Like Tevas or something. I don't know. I don't like
sandals.
Tevas. Yeah, wearing like open-toed shoes in New York City anyway is like, I don't know. You're asking for gangrene.
Yeah, so y'all have like legit worries about catching stuff off of the...
Yeah, I spend a lot of time in dog parks. I don't own a dog or anything, but I'm just kidding.
Just get your fill.
I like stepping in the urine of the wolves.
You have a
Lab Shepherd mix. Oh yeah, we got to talk about. I mean,
pups.
What you told me about your dog last night. I can't stop thinking about it. Red, first of all, when you say red healer, there's a lot of people with blue healers in New York. So is a red healer just a red version of them?
It's a red version of it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just like it sounds.
Thank you. But I also am envisioning like a cattle dog type.
So I would say red healers are more Australian cattle dog vibe to them.
Yeah.
Like they definitely look wild. They got like more, probably the reason they're red is because they got more dingo in them.
Yeah.
And whatever that.
So is Pat.
He's an old dingo, man.
Pat's got a lot of dingo in it.
He is a dingo.
Was that your first dog that you had that was just yours? Like, did you grow up with family dogs, or did
we had hunting dogs, and then
hunting dogs. Do you love and give them affection ever, or do they just sleep outside?
No, I mean there's different.
So I think my dog could 100% be a hunting dog.
Yeah,
yeah. She was
like
rescued in
dog.
Tennessee. Yeah, I think she's like one of those like field lab type.
Yeah.
She loves fucking birds.
And you give a dog a purpose, they're a much better animal.
I let her hunt squirrels every morning, and she's so tired.
Does she ever get one?
She'll flat tire them, and they'll like flip, but then she always fucking loses them.
Yeah.
I've seen her catch them and then release them too, like the orcas do with seals.
Just playing around.
She's a predator.
Mess around. Yeah,
she's a fucking predator.
She got her food in the house, but she didn't.
Yeah. So yeah, I do. I think because that mentally stimulates them and physically, so the dogs feel great.
They should have a purpose in life,
right?
I've had even with Luke is the red healer's name. Rest in peace. He was. He's a good pup, but those dogs, you have to give them something. Yeah. Or they're going to find something.
Right. They're like, oh, my job is ruin your life.
Yeah. You think the trash belongs in the trash can? No, says I.
Silly. We got to get this out of here.
There might be Asians in here now. He was a little racist. He was a sweet pup.
I can't get enough of pretending like I know what goes through dogs' minds. The working thing, that's my dog. We're in the park and all the dogs are playing with each other, wrestling, and she will wrestle if it's specific dogs. Yeah. She'll wrestle around with. But she's like, hey mom, just throw me that tennis ball 400 times and we'll be out of here.
We'll be golden. Yeah.
And then that's why when other dogs come to take the ball, she's like, I'm fucking working.
In her head, dude, she legit is.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is her job. This is her thing.
Yeah. She's like, we hunted squirrels this morning. She'll clear the whole park, Battery Park. People look at me. If she's not hunting squirrels, she has her Frisbee in her mouth. But I'll let her off leash. And people look at me first they see her coming with just a Frisbee in her leaf, this black German Shepherd, do-do-do-do-do. And they're like, who the fuck is walking this dog? And then I don't know how many yards behind her, I'm like, hey, she's mine. We're just going to hunt some squirrels. We'll be on our way.
That's a wild thing. I didn't, we have a few dog parks here. But there's Zilker and people, and it's open. It's not
it's not fenced in?
Fenced in at all.
Oh, okay.
And there's probably at any given time 150 to 250 just dogs running around without leashes on.
Shut the fuck up.
And
that's
everybody's
a huge number.
Everybody's chill
it'll
about
be fine.
it.
They'll figure it all out.
And they do.
And
the dogs run in packs.
Yeah. There's a couple little scuffles here and there, but nobody's helicopter parenting.
No.
I've seen so many people just make dog fights so much worse than they would have been.
If you just give them another 4 seconds, they will figure it out.
They really will. That's when people always go in, and it's my dog is usually the corrector.
Okay, so she's in there judging everybody, or coming in and being like, "Hey, quit it!
If you're fucking you don't touch my ball." Especially if you're a French bulldog and you're going to steal the ball and destroy it. She knows you're going to do that. So if you even come,
sounds like she's stereotyping.
100%. It's and she clocks dogs too. Any smushed up face dog, even a little fucking pug puppy came into the dog park the other day, and I saw her and be like, that little fucker better not come near my ball. And I'm like, Mabel, that thing weighs 8 pounds.
Yeah.
But though the dog parks in New York, they're too small and there's too many helicopter parents and Mabel goes after one of their dogs, and she's very like mostly vocal. She doesn't want to actually kill your dog. She wants to yell at them and scare them so they change their behavior. But all these other dog parents, they start screaming. They're like, ah! So then their dog's like, ah!
It's just so much energy.
And Mabel's like, now I really want to kill you because you're screaming. But anyway, so that sounds like crazy, that 250 dog park.
Yeah, it's just right down the road, Barton Springs and Zilker Park. And just, it's Austin, so there's about 1,000 golden retrievers.
Yeah, that's the dog.
Oh, and it's like you can't even remember. I was petting one, and I was like, oh man, this is my buddy.
Right.
And then I like turned around, and he had like a camo, necklace? Collar.
Yeah.
And
you're gay. Necklace. Little dog necklaces.
Little dog necklace. It was a cute dog necklace. It's a choker. They have he had like a camo. I just remember him having a camo one.
Yeah, and then the next dog did too.
The next dog comes up and I just like, buddy, it's good to see you again. And then I'm like, oh shit, you lost your collar.
No, it's a different
I was like, oh, it's just another identical golden retriever.
I know. They like take home other people's dogs. They don't even know.
Could you imagine if you didn't have? That's why all of them wear collars. But
yeah.
Anyway,
I'm sorry, I'm dying. Yeah, I love talking about dogs.
Dogs are the best until they die, and then it's sad for a little while.
I put mine to sleep. I had the vet come to my apartment.
This the
not this one I have now.
Oh, I was gonna say,
before I left, I was like, it's gonna be a rough travel week.
I need to get out of this city for a little while. So I just
night. No, my first dog, that was like my first love, my first son. He got like a tumor on the back of his tongue. Oh. So, like, the options were very grim. They're like, we could cut his tongue off, and also the cancer is probably going to come back. I was like, how is that a solution? And they're like, we could chemo it, like, we could laser it off, like, once a month. And I was like, and she's like, it's extremely painful and uncomfortable. And
expensive.
It's so expensive. Like, the regular end of care or end of life care for any dog is expensive. So like, no shame to you, whatever you fucking decide to do, like with your dog. Like the medicines are expensive, the vet visits are expensive, making them comfortable, all of it. So yeah, I ended up just getting him really high for like the last like month of his life and then put him to sleep.
Just gave him some edibles?
Oh yeah, man. He was on so much shit. He was on nerve blockers, gabapentin, all this shit. He was pretty stoned. And
imagine if it's like your last like month to month and a half. That's my thing when they're like, all right, so you're just going to take these and like, oh, till he dies.
Right.
Till he dies. So he's then the last month of his like existence on earth, he's just like, whoa.
Right. He's tripping.
Yeah.
And it was hard for him to eat. So I was like going and getting like brisket and like blending it up in my blender.
That's so sweet.
Drink brisket.
This is a lap up brisket.
That was Ernest.
Past his tumor tongue.
Ernest, I know. It was so sad. But the lady, when she did it, it was so nice. Like, I was just like...
It's better to do it in an apartment. I like that. House calls.
Yeah, he didn't know. He was just taking a nap. The vet used to stress him out anyway,
Yeah, that's such a drastic... My grandpa was a vet, and he... had a small animal practice and he bred horses.
Okay.
Primarily. And then when he retired, he bought a small animal practice. So I had to be there. He's the one I moved down to South Texas with. Yeah. So I would work with him on summer and like winter breaks and stuff like that. I'd go to work with him and then on the weekends. And that's the worst. Like having somebody put down a dog.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it'd be like, and my grandpa was like very compassionate towards people and like loved people.
Right.
And he was like very comforting and like, and it just like watching somebody just bawling, just putting their, dog down. And then you just like walk out and be like, all right, now we got to go get this cat litter out of this cat's penis.
Right. All right. We got to go castrate a horse or whatever. I don't know. Do they do that? I might have just, do they?
Geld a horse.
Why do they do that?
So, number one, because they get real horny.
Yeah.
And if there's a mare in heat somewhere, that horses we had a horse jump a fence, I don't know, probably 30 times. First 10 times, not a problem. He would just jump the fence, go try to knock up whoever he was trying to knock up, and they'd call us and be like, hey, your your horse is in here again.
Wild, horny horse on the loose. He's a rapist.
Honestly, I mean, that's animals rape.
That is animals. They do.
And they're big rapers.
Yep.
And so he was fine. He learned how to do it. And then the neighbor put up like a top strand of barbed wire, like a little higher than it was supposed to be.
Yeah,
and it cut him.
I bet.
And it cut him from like inner, like around his ball region all the way up his hip.
Oh.
And we had to go over there and like sedate him, staple him up, and be like, all right, fucking good luck, buddy.
Right.
Like 3 weeks later, he was jumping that fence again.
Yeah.
Like they just do not care.
They don't care. They're
so it's like
instincts.
you gotta. And he was only like 3 years old. He was a 3-year-old horse.
Right. So then you have to castrate them?
You got to castrate them. And you want to do it.
They get really sad?
They get really sad.
Ugh.
And they get really fat.
Really?
And then especially, yeah. If you do it, I don't know. There's like a lot of theories on when you should do it because you want to give him the opportunity to grow up enough that he gets all of his muscle mass.
Okay.
And then you take his balls.
Ugh.
Or you do it young and then he just like kind of learns how to be without his balls.
Right.
So it won't like depress him as much because he
think-
doesn't know they exist.
Yeah, I think the older when you do it, that just seems like so cruel.
It does, but also like that's where you're getting your testosterone and all of your growth hormones and like your like,
From all these castrations of horses?
No, it doesn't give me any benefit, but that's actually what we're going to the ranch this weekend for is cutting cows.
Are you?
So we're doing tomorrow. We're doing a branding, a vaccination, and then all of the steers that we're sending to market, we're gonna cut the balls on.
Okay.
So we got about 200 to 300 head, and they all.
So that's like 400 to 600 balls.
Well, they're not all steers, so a lot of them you hope for heifers. So you hope for females, girls, and you want a good mix, but preferably we're looking for a lot more females. They can make more babies.
Right.
And if they're not like genetically, if there's something wrong with them, then we can send them to sale early.
Yeah.
And so it is traumatic. Like cutting nuts, you kind of just gotta go in there with the knowledge of it's just gotta happen.
Ugh.
And then
that's pretty wild to me.
Yeah.
It's like thinking I don't think I could do it. Probably, is the money good?
I think you can. Money's pretty good. Money's pretty good. People are hungry.
I'm like, this is so depraved and inhumane. I'm like, meanwhile, I have pictures of my butthole on the internet.
Amen to that, sister.
But it's just like the act of it seems pretty. I
try not to talk about it a whole lot.
Yeah. Do you deep compartmentalize it too?
I think it's just something that I've been doing and seeing since I was
doing in sin. Is that what you said?
Doing and seeing. I'm sorry.
No,
my accent gets a little out there once in a while. But I do it. I'm just. It's something.
What's the reason for taking their balls before they go to market so that they're not horny?
Well, so that they're not like they're not trying to hump everything.
Yeah.
And they're not trying to breed their like siblings could be a problem. And it's just like they get very combative.
Yeah.
Like a bull with his balls still that you're not trying to keep as a breeder bull is called a maverick bull. And so
we don't want a maverick.
You don't want a maverick.
We don't like
bull.
nobody likes that.
We don't like
well,
good
the
maverick.
Mavericks get there, there'll be trouble.
Yeah. They are they're just a nuisance.
Yeah, they try to hump everybody.
And then if you have like 30 or 40 like young bulls, everybody's trying to like, and there's you keep 1 to 2 like main bulls.
Yeah.
And they just take care of
Those are your best friends.
Those are the best friends. And they got a great job. All they're doing is fucking.
That's all they do day in and day out.
80 ladies that they got to take care of.
They're like the gangbang. They're like.
Well, I mean, it's just one of them.
Right.
I mean, I guess if there's 2.
Yeah.
Then they could.
But they're just assembly line fucking these hoes.
Yeah, they just eat, and then whenever one of them comes into heat, he's just like, "Hey, baby."
Right.
Well, I mean,
right. And she's like, "But you fucked my friend yesterday." Whatever, man.
Whatever, dude. You trying to get knocked up or what?
We're trying to extend this family line.
Yeah. But,
sorry.
I don't know where I was.
No, it's very interesting to me. Like, Nikki Glaser is probably would be traumatized if she ever met you.
Well, I tried. I'm like,
I tried talking to her.
I like it. I worry.
No, like
but
my thing is like vegan people. Like, do they have an issue with you?
a
Fucking
few do.
nerds. I eat meat, so I don't.
I just try to talk respectfully to people when anybody's like really, really upset. And honestly, like I've had some good conversations with PETA people.
Okay.
And like other comics that are either vegan or whatever. And it's just like, I mean, everybody's eating beef.
Yeah.
So like this is a part of the process, and you try to be as respectful as you can.
Yeah.
Like when we're out there, we're not like kicking them and like we don't even use
you don't like
taser.
flick their balls before you take them. You're not like one for the good guys.
Because you imagine like
you make them smell yours. I'm keeping these.
We do it naked. I do it with assless chaps.
You're keeping our balls.
So mean.
You teabagging the calves.
Oh, it's terrible.
No,
you are. I mean, you have a.
But to be honest with you, I think somebody like you who's so close to it probably has more reverence and more respect and more appreciation when you do eat meat.
Yeah.
Than your average person like me, who's like very far removed from it, you know, and like can sort of disassociate in a way, even though Nikki Glazer's going to keep sharing those pictures in her story, you know.
Yeah.
They will
also,
come into my view.
I agree that like those slaughter farms and slaughterhouses, feedlots, like they are very. I don't like those. Every time I see one, I'm like, that's fucking wrong.
Yeah.
You know, but.
Like smaller local farms are better probably for everybody.
They just can't keep the upkeep in people.
It's too much demand of these fucking obese motherfuckers that need meat in their veins morning, noon, and night.
Morning and...
cheap meat too. Fast, cheap meat probably.
And it's probably not great for you either.
No, because everybody can't afford a fucking Wagyu and like, you know, the high quality steaks and stuff. Yeah. I can. So I feel morally better that I'm eating the cows that are like not treated that badly.
Read books too, and you know they read books to the ones in the Wagyu.
The Wagyu ones,
like the pure Wagyu beef.
Yeah,
they get nighttime bed stories.
Wow,
plush. You know, I'm sure they're sleeping on something close to this.
Do they let them move at all?
Where
the Wagyu ones, the Wagyu cows? Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Because I thought that they like. You know how there's that cruel thing? I think we do it to French people do it to birds, like ducks.
Yeah.
Like duck liver pate, where they like fatten them all up until they burst.
They can't even move.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of the chicken that you eat is
like that.
Yeah, they're in like chicken farms are depressing.
Yeah.
And they get the goal was to get a bird that can make as much put on as much meat as they can.
Right.
And so
it's like the movie The Whale, but all chickens.
But all chickens. But just in chickens. And they just get so like fat and misformed, and their whole life is just like laying there.
Yeah.
They don't have to move.
That's how I feel about the southern states though.
Oh, I mean, there's a lot of it. See, I think that's the Georgia. Texas is not the South. Okay. I've been trying to tell people
Right.
This.
Where you guys are the middle. What are
we're
you?
We're our own thing.
Yeah, no, I know.
We're outside of your
own country.
Our own nation.
You're going to be a U.S. territory at some point.
Yeah.
You're going to secede.
We might. We might pull a Puerto Rico on them.
Yeah.
I didn't realize somebody told me they were Indian the other night, and they were like Native American, is what they said. Mm-hmm. I was like crowd working somebody at the creek, and they're like, "Oh, we're Native American." I was like, "Cool. Well, like what tribe?"
Yeah.
And I'm familiar with like a lot of the Indian culture around Texas and Oklahoma. And they were like, they said something, and I was like, I've never heard of that. Where's that from? They're like, Puerto Rico. I'm like, you're not Native American.
That's not Native American. Is it?
I don't think Native American is Puerto Rican.
I don't know. Pat should be looking it up right now.
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah. I think you're Puerto Rican. You're
Puerto Rican. Yeah, you're like South American, sort of.
I would say,
closer than native.
Yeah.
I know about the Sioux and the thing, Massachusetts, there's a bunch of towns that still sound like Native American names. And Maine, too, like Algonquit and Winnipesaukee.
Wow.
Yeah. There's
such good names.
They're good names. Winnipesaukee's like a ski mountain, I think.
It is?
Yeah, I'm not a big skier.
Were Native Americans skiers?
They are now.
Them going up a ski lift.
No, I don't think so. Maybe they made the first skis out of wood.
Maybe I thought that was the Norwegians and such, but
oh yeah, I think Native Americans more. I think like snowshoes and stuff.
There you go. I actually have seen some cool paintings of like they look like tennis rackets.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like they're using those wrong.
Those idiots. No wonder they died off.
I'm a little jaded. They stole a lot of money from me.
The casino. Molly said there's no casinos in Texas.
Well, there's underground casinos.
Oh.
And they're not run by the Native Americans, but they're just all over. Like poker rooms, there's big poker rooms. You can go, there's a comic runs a speakeasy here in town that you can go play dice at.
Okay.
That's really
Andrew
fun.
Dice Clay's old jokes.
Yeah, that's all you do. You just do them. If anybody laughs, you get paid.
I don't know. You're stupid. We're having fun. You're stupid. I don't know how to play dice. You just try to get matching.
Oh my
ones.
gosh, I wish we had the time. If you're in town till Saturday, we might. Rolling dice is one
exciting?
of the most fun things. I have
Are you
a
like,
problem
give me
with
heavens
it.
to Betsy, Deucey, Lucy?
So down on the river preaching to the poor, Lord, show me a 3 and a 4. And then down on the train tracks, looking at the stars, Lord, show me some box cars.
That's pretty good. What's box cars? 2 4s?
6s.
2 6s.
So 12. 12 is box cars. Or after 5, the field's alive.
Yeah, good.
You just keep doing
I think I would be good at this. I would have to like workshop a few little sayings for myself.
You do. Mom needs some new shoes. That's always a good one to start out with. Easy.
Yeah.
Get it in.
Yeah. It'd be like 7-Eleven, this bread is unleavened.
Oh, throw some Jewish references
I feel like
in
a
there.
lot of
I
good like
that.
Jew heavy, I think would help me win some more money.
I think so. I don't know how, but I think the
Do you have the photograph next to you?
I do right here.
So this is a little, this is what do we call this? An Easter egg, Patrick?
An Easter egg?
So if anyone remembers, the last time we did a podcast in a hotel, we were, I love how you're holding it. He's like an audition. We were at the Roosevelt Hotel in Hollywood. And I told Pat, I was like, go get some photographs of Audrey Hepburn. And he came back with this picture.
Is that, I wish I knew.
You don't know who this is, Dean?
I don't. I'm so excited.
You guys are just maybe babies. This is Elizabeth Taylor.
Oh, I thought that's what I said earlier.
Oh, you
right?
did? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I
This
was
is Liz
making a
Taylor.
guess. Yeah.
Or in Pat's mind, Aubrey Hepburn. Audrey Hepburn. I'm sorry. People don't know that I'm not feeling well. So isn't that funny?
Yeah.
And so then he went out after and he got the real picture of Audrey that we needed.
Audrey
Aren't they so
Hepburn.
much different looking?
I mean,
She's
they're
like
basic
such like a
20s
sex
women.
pistol, and Audrey's like very innocent. She was like,
She does look, and she looks French.
yeah,
She's a lot French. And it might be just like the hat. I don't know if that's a French hat.
yeah, yeah.
Very dainty women.
She was very petite.
Very petite.
Yeah.
Dainty. I don't know if dainty was
Yeah,
right.
Dainty's right. Liz Taylor had some curves to her. She had some jugs.
She's a curvy
she
girl.
She played Cleopatra, which is pretty hilarious because Cleopatra was most likely black. I watched a docuseries recently. I'm really up on my Cleopatra shit if anybody wants.
Yeah,
She
that's
fucked
a good
everybody.
guess. Have you seen John Wayne?
The John Wayne, the cowboy actor?
The Duke?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's my
He's my dad.
favorite actor. Yeah, he's my man. He's my grandpa. He's Papaw. That was my legend
my
has
mama.
it. He plays Genghis Khan.
Who was Asian, no?
I mean, we can
One
guess.
would think,
One
right?
would
It's
think.
so
1,000
funny
years ago, who knows?
how they
But
used to
it could have
just
been
do that.
Russian. Yeah.
He does an Asian accent.
I don't know. He tries. It's not
man.
like what he thought was an Asian accent, I guess, at that
Yeah.
point.
We should be able to. You know what I like about Texas? You guys, the crowds here really go for anything.
They're just ready for it.
Yeah. They're ready to laugh.
They're new
They don't
comedy
care.
audiences. Like a lot of people are coming in. I try to ask at the top of the set, like, hey, who's been here before?
Mm-hmm.
Or who's been to a comedy show? Just because so many times people are like, you got first time, like never
First
been to a
show.
comedy. It's like, how have you never been to
Right.
a comedy club?
It's so weird,
So wild.
but awesome that they're here now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And loving it. And like if people saw that show last night, they're likely to come back.
Right. It was
Yeah.
a good show.
It was a good show.
Yeah. People, I feel like in New York are just a lot of them are in their head and they care about what they look like and like they're like ready to judge or be offended. But
I'm interested. I've always wanted to. I'm going to
you'd
go
kill
up.
in New York because you'd be
think so?
such a unicorn.
I think so, but I don't want
Yeah.
people like. I could imagine just going up there and people are like, "What the fuck?"
No, I
Look
think
at
it
this
would
country
hit.
bumpkin.
No, it would hit because it's so refreshing. It's so, listen, the best comics in the world work in New York, and I love New York, and we're all fucking awesome and hilarious. But it can feel a little, if because we're the same comics working that city, like on like every night. So I think a crowd would appreciate you. You'd be like a breath of fresh air. Don't you think, Pat?
Yeah,
I know what I know. All right, we're going to wrap this up. This is a good one. Tell the people where they can find you, where they can follow you, what you got coming up, if you're on the road, whatever. Tell them all.
DNA Stanfield on Instagram. That's where I keep posting most of the stuff. I have a special out on OnlyFans. You can check that out.
Right,
Just popped.
We should have chatted about that. How did that go?
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I had a good time. I did 25 minutes and they used 7 minutes of it.
Hey.
And
that's awesome.
They used they were just like, hey, we're just going to cut up, so just keep going.
Fuck yeah.
It was wild to have they had like $3 million worth of equipment.
Whoa.
And they were like, I've never been to a thing that's like so professionally shot, so professionally done. And they're like, just mess around.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Right, because usually it's like you're so fucking stressed out. I hate to shoot anything like live taping, anything like that. I'm so in my head. I'm like, I'm gonna ruin it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I
can see the OnlyFans people being like, hey,
just rock it.
Listen.
Hey, look, we're filming titties behind.
Right. There's girls on this site eating their own shit.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
So the OnlyFans stuff is out there. Duke of Mullets on
Duke of Mullets.
Duke of Mullets on OnlyFans. I'm going to be in Nashville at Zany's the 23rd, and then we're going to be in St. Louis after that. Chicago Zany's after that. All around the end of June, early July.
Hell yeah.
Best of the West, Creek in the Cave on Wednesdays, and just go out there and watch a John Wayne movie.
There you go. Dean Stanfield, you guys. What a treat. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe to the fucking YouTube channel, you fucking assholes.
It's only feehans.